My video yesterday responding to this man about male privilege had some of y'all fired up, and so many women commented so many better examples than the ones that I even used originally, so it's time for a part 2. Did you know that women are 47% more likely to be seriously injured in a car accident because the crash test dummies used in safety testing are male crash test dummies designed to be the average male proportions, and female crash test dummies weren't even utilized until 2015. They're not government mandated, so not every brand uses them, and when they do use them, they're mostly tested in the passenger seat because the misogyny continues. And did you know that women are 1.7 times more likely to suffer adverse side effects of medications because the clinical trials used to determine the proper dosage were male-dominated trials? Because let's completely ignore the fact that men and women process drugs differently and have different metabolisms. So yeah, super great. Have you ever heard of the pink tax? It's not actually a tax, but it's a statistically higher cost for female marketed products that are identical to male products. For example, female clothes that are identical to male clothes on average are 10% more expensive, and little girls' toys compared to little boys' toys tend to be 5 to 13% more expensive. And this inflation of cost, on average, is estimated to cost women $1,300 a year for identical products just because they're marketed to women. And now let's talk about how men are praised for doing the bare minimum, like babysitting their kids or helping with chores, as if they're not their kids and their chores that just need to be taken care of. And when men reach high-powered positions, are you ever accused of sleeping your way there because you couldn't have possibly gotten there on skill, merit, or qualifications? Of course not. Or the fact that girls mature faster than boys, but when we're younger, girls are just told, oh, you just have to be patient. They mature slower than you. Instead of telling little boys, oh, women actually mature quicker than you, so you should be looking up to them as role models and leaders and see how they handle situations. No, you're never told that. Or what about how when little boys like little girls, they're mean to them, and little girls are just told, oh, they're mean to you and they like you. And then we're confused why so many women love toxic men as if it's not something you're taught to do. Yeah, how about instead we teach little boys that's not how you treat women. If you like them, you're not mean to them. Show them respect and affection. It's almost like we can combat this, you know? But these are just examples to show you how the world is designed to cater to men. So again, there's your male privilege.
You know, guys, it never ceases to amaze me how these women, despite being the most privileged group of individuals to ever walk the face of the planet, manage to make themselves and believe themselves to be victims, right? No matter how much you give them, guys, no matter, you know, what you give them, no matter how much affection, how much validation online they receive, no matter how many grants, scholarships that they receive, no. Men have it easy. It's a man's world, and the patriarchy is holding them all back. Do you ever consider the fact that maybe men earn more money than you because they work harder or they're more driven to do so? Do you ever consider the fact that maybe women are accused of sleeping up in workplaces as opposed to men because men simply cannot do that? Right, guys? Like, girls, when they make these arguments, just it's so clown world to me that they can't understand basic human behavior. No guy is going to sleep his way up the corporate ladder because men cannot do that. Unless you're like some, you know, angelic Giga Chad looking freak, okay? You literally cannot do that. But any girl who wakes up and takes a bath can do that, right? And on to her last point, guys, before we just move on to today's actual video, the part that she mentions at the end right there saying that, oh, women are societally conditioned to like bad boys, to like toxic men. No, you're not. You like toxic men because you like them. Right? If you grow up in a broken family, this is obviously made worse, but these girls want to pretend as though it's society's fault, right? It's men's fault that they're attracted to the bad boys. How about you just take some accountability and realize that you're attracted to bad boys because you are, right? But no. Society makes everything so difficult. I have no control over my own actions. I earn less money than men, even though it's literally illegal to pay genders different amounts, by the way. No, guys. We just gotta believe this crap of women have it so difficult and men live in a men's world, right? But guys, let's continue into today's first video, because that is not the clown world video that we were going to be responding to today. We are going to be kicking off today's episode with this woman right here, who is going to tell us her dating experience. So without further ado, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's just jump right into the video.
Welcome back to another episode of Danny's Dating Stories. I have gone on so many bad dates, and Mama's Boy was just one of them. Now it is time to tell the story of a boy that we are going to codename Serial Dater. When I tell you that this man was so fine. He had the most perfect sun-kissed skin, the perfect hair. Him and I grew up in the same town, so that's how we became friends first.
Have you guys ever noticed how all of these men who are quote-unquote serial daters, right, or the dudes who get around the block a few times, right, they always seem to be good-looking men? It's never the dudes who look bad or who are short, right, or, you know, who don't look the best. These are not the men who are out here quote-unquote serial dating. I think one of the biggest lies that has been sold to men, right, is that women will just like you for your personality, right, for your character, for like your quote-unquote game, okay? Looks play such a stupidly large role when it comes to, you know, dating. Okay, but everybody under the sun wants to pretend as though, hey, if you're just nice enough to a girl, right, if you just treat her with respect and you be her shoulder to cry on, then eventually one day you're going to be the man that she finally opens up to, and you two are going to have a fantastic relationship and you're going to live happily ever after. Yeah, maybe when she's like 37, okay, and she needs to get married and have kids now, even though she shouldn't be having kids anywhere near 37, right? That's when things start to change. Okay, but like, why the hell would you even want a girl who realistically didn't even want you until then? Okay, but notice how all of the dudes who are these serial daters, they're all good looking, right?
But when that day came that he asked me out to coffee, yeah, I honestly thought that that was it for me. I had met my perfect person. If I could build a boy, he would look like him. I show up to
her perfect person. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't heard about height here, right? And I'm also honestly surprised that she didn't kick it off with like how nice of a guy he is, or like what are the qualities about his character that made her attracted to him, right? Normally girls aren't this open about the fact that they like a guy sheerly because he looks good, but notice how it's sheerly because he looks good. Right? Go back here. She says, if I could build a boyfriend, I would build one that looks like him. We haven't heard anything about his values. We haven't heard anything about, you know, does he care about his family or friends? Is he a good guy? You know, is he a hard worker, an honest man? No, none of that.
Was it for me. I had met my perfect person. If I could build a boy, he would look like him. I show up to coffee and he pulls out my chair for me. Wow, so hot. We get our coffee.
It's only attractive to her because the man is attractive. Right? If a man was a 5, right, or below, the action of him pulling out a chair would not mean anything to you. If anything, it would be a detriment. If you're a man and you're unattractive, the behaviors that you do will come across as unattractive also. Okay? Pulling out a chair is only attractive to this girl because the man himself, the man doing it, is attractive. Okay, if the dude was ugly, if the dude was incredibly short, or, you know, bad facial structure, all of this kind of stuff, she couldn't care less if you pulled out every single chair for her, guys. Right? But society wants you to believe that, hey guys, if you just, you know, if you just be nice and open up and be affectionate to them, like the woman in the first TikTok said, right? Give them affection because they mature faster. Whatever bullcrap logic was behind that, right? That you're going to be, you know, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to be Prince Charming that comes along and saves her.
We're talking and we're honestly just having such a good time. This is too good to be true. We're talking, we're laughing, and I'm thinking to myself, nothing could ruin this perfect date. Hang on, I'm getting there. Now we have come to the end of the date. We finished our coffee. I hugged him and he was like, hey, I gotta run inside to grab a coffee. I'm thinking to myself, wow, this man is so sweet. He's getting a friend of his a coffee before he hits the road. I walk back to my car and think nothing of it. But then my female instinct hits me where before I leave, I have to do one final glance. And you want—
Guys, I'm gonna have to pause the video right there, okay? Because I do not believe her. right? It wasn't your, your feminine intuition that guided you to have a glance back into the coffee shop or wherever the hell you two were, okay? I highly doubt that this was a glance. She either sat there in her car and watched him, or got out and went back to the location and watched him from outside, right? But because it's a girl, and because she tells a little white lie about how it was just a glance, let's be honest, guys, it wasn't just a glance, then all of a sudden it's okay. But imagine if a man did this, okay? The behavior would be creepy, right? He would be like a stalker, creep dude who, imagine for a moment, guys, a man goes on a date with a woman, okay, and then he decides to use his male intuition, and he goes back just to see what she did after the date was over. Oh, he's a creep. He's a freak. Why on earth would he do that? But girls pull this crap all the time. Right? You ever notice how when you sit down and you listen, you really listen to these girls when they tell their dating stories? It's like they don't line up. Like, there are bits and pieces that just don't make any sort of logical sense. And this is like one of those things, guys.
Want to know what I saw? I saw this man walk back inside, get in line, order a coffee, go to a different table where there was this really pretty blonde sitting there the whole time while him and I were on the date. They sit down and they start holding hands.
And you know what? I have absolutely no sympathy. Absolutely no sympathy. Guys, I want to ask you gentlemen in the audience a question, okay? Have you guys ever been out on a date where the girl just doesn't show up, and you receive a message sometimes after you were scheduled to have the date of her apologizing and asking to reschedule because she missed it because of some bullcrap reason, right? Or have you guys ever been on a date where you rock up to the date and you're on time, you're ready to go, you're there, and the girl sends you a message around that time saying that, oh, can we reschedule? Or, oh, sorry, my parents came into town and I had to go see them. It was a last minute thing, okay? All of these women who get, who deal with chads and then they complain about the consequences of him dating multiple women, I have no sympathy. Because these women, they don't even want to date a man who has no other women anyway. It's a problem that's entirely self-inflicted. It really is, guys, right? Because all the other men who would be willing to go out and take her out on a date and show her, show her undivided attention and all this sort of stuff, she doesn't want them. And let's just go back here a minute, guys, because it wasn't just a glance, right? She literally tells on herself right here. Listen.
Before he hits the road, I walk back to my car and think nothing of it. But then my female instinct, I saw this man walk back inside, get in line, order a coffee, go to a different table where there was this really pretty blonde sitting there the whole time while him and I were on the date.
And you're telling me that you got all of this information from a glance. You see, this is what I'm saying, man. It's just the little white lies, right? They just really add up, because when girls tell these stories, they want to paint themselves as though they're the victim. They're not doing any creepy crap. They've never done anything like that before. And you should feel sorry for them. You should feel empathy and, validate them for the experience that they had. It's ridiculous.
They sit down and they start holding hands. He had another date lined up right after me at the same location. That's pretty bold. I'm just sitting in my car watching this happen through the glass while coincidentally listening to Louis Capaldi on the radio. Did not know what to do with myself. Danny, it's just one date. You just went on one date with this guy. He's allowed to date other people, but I was stunned. So I started my car, drove away, and that was the last time I ever saw a serial dater in person.
No, it wasn't. Okay, it might have been the last guy that you've ever, the last time you've ever seen that man in particular, which again, I doubt. But that is not the last time that you will see a quote-unquote serial dater. This kind of behavior of like, oh yeah, I'm done with the chads, I'm just sick of dating them because I want a man who takes me seriously. You can have a man that takes you seriously at any given point in time. Okay? But you choose the men who don't take you seriously at all, over and over and over again. Guys, I used to do like Patreon calls, right? Where a lot of guys, they would tell me, you know, their whatever it is that they'd like to tell me. But one common thing that I would come across, right, is dudes who would be in long-term relationships with women. I'm talking like marriages even that last such a long period of time. And they would tell me that, you know, their relationship would fall apart very quickly, and then the woman would just get with another dude. Right, it'd be some bad boy from her past or some guy that she was interested in previously, but all the while during their relationship, she would sell him the message that, oh, she's done with the bad boys and her past is so terrible. All of these girls, they have like a, what would you call it, like a sad story, a sob story that they tell men to make it appear as though now they're virtuous and they're done and they've had their fun and they've learned and they've healed. It's all a bunch of crap, man. It really absolutely is. And again, this girl, when she describes this part right here,
but like, I was stunned.
She was saying that, you know, the dude lined up multiple dates at the same time. Do you guys understand that all of the games and the manipulation and the BS that men play, where do you think that we get it from? Right? We don't just magic this stuff out of thin air. Men by default, guys, I have never met a man who by default was just like, you know, at least not as typically as a lot of these girls, was just a manipulative schemer. Right? All of this, like, you know, replying to text messages late, scheduling multiple dates at the same time. Okay, all of these little mind games and manipulations. Men didn't learn this from other men. Right? Men have learned all of this stuff by copying how women date, and then they'll complain and say it's so difficult for them when men do the same things to them. And I have really no sympathy for it. But let's continue on to the next
Started my car, drove away, and that was the last time I ever saw a serial dater in person. It's one thing for a guy to be confident, but it's another for him to book 2 dates back to back at the same location.
I mean, why the hell not? Right? Like, why the hell not? You think that that these girls are out here being not doing the exact same thing? A lot of women, guys, when they date, they'll literally schedule multiple dates for the same time, and then they'll just cancel the dates of the men who they find less attractive. Right? So what they'll do is they'll schedule multiple dates, and they'll go with the dude who's most attractive that shows up to the date. Like, I wish I was lying, guys, but that's literally just the way it is.
Okay, my eyes are puffy because I have been crying all night, but I genuinely... What is happening here? I genuinely have a question for you guys. So I was at a bar on Whiskey in Nashville, and we were waiting in line. I had already like got my ID checked. We were waiting in line, and I was like, I have to go bathroom. So I go to the restroom, and there's like literally 25 girls waiting in the girls' bathroom, and there's no guys waiting in line for the men's. And I was like, these girls are dumb. I'm gonna go in the men's bathroom. So the guy I was with was like, yeah, you can come with me, no problem. I go in the men's bathroom, pee, come out, and the bouncer brings me, he's like, get the out. And I was like, huh? Why?
Isn't that just unreal? Right? I swear to you, man, like girls like this, when they go out to the club, getting all like the free drinks and the free validation, it goes to their head to the point where they think that they can do anything without any form of consequences. Right? She literally was saying right there, why was I being kicked out? You went into the men's bathroom. You went into the men's toilets. She went into the men's restroom. She got kicked out, and then she questions why. Can you guys imagine if the roles were reversed here, where a dude said, hey, rather than, I don't want to wait in line for the men's bathroom, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the girls' bathroom, and then I'm going to question why I get kicked out after I do that. I'm telling you, man, like the validation has gone to this woman's head to the point where she thinks that she can do literally anything and get away with it just because she's not a half bad looking girl. Right? It's guys, and I'm telling you, when you go out, if you guys go out to clubs or bars or whatever, don't be buying these girls drinks, guys. A lot of these women, they literally just go out to these places to get free drinks from men, and then they'll just go with the dude that they're actually attracted to. It really is just such a waste of money, man.
He was like, you can't go in the men's bathroom. I was like, sir, like, I had to go bathroom. I'm sorry. Like, I won't do it again, but like, I had to go. And he was like, nope, get your stuff, let's go. And I was like,
then go somewhere else. Okay, like, you either wait in line like everybody else, or you go somewhere else, right? But she thinks that she's so important that she can just skip the line in front. She just goes to the other bathroom, because why the hell not? And I'm telling you guys, imagine if the role was reversed and we were watching a dude right here make a TikTok about how he didn't understand why he got kicked out of a venue for using the girls' bathrooms. All the women would be up in arms saying how it's so awful, but because it's like a dude, because it's the men's bathroom, we're expected to just be totally okay with it, and it's not creepy and weird. I personally would think it would be creepy and weird, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't want women in the men's bathrooms. I just don't want them there, okay? But we as men, we're supposed to just accept that this is something that's totally acceptable. It really is crazy to me.
What's going on? I was like, have you ever peed on a sidewalk? Like, have you ever had to go bathroom and there wasn't one available? And he was like, get the f out, I don't care. And so he kicks me out, and I'm just like standing there like, this is some BS. But I was like, I'm gonna give this guy some time to cool down, and I'm gonna go back in.
There's no way. Okay, so this is a TikTok, right? And for those of you guys not watching the screen right now, she's written on her TikTok with text that, please note, I only had a few drinks and was very much coherent and aware of the situation. You weren't aware of anything. Oh my lord, man. If you were aware, you would be aware that you're not allowed in the men's bathrooms. You're not aware of anything, man. Jeez.
So I wait like 20 minutes, go back in, fine, like get checked at the door, walk my ass to the bar, and I get tackled like a rag doll by a cop, like as if I had a weapon. So he's dragging me out. I'm crying because I'm like, this is so intense. I was like, please get off me. He was like, get the f out. And he was like, it's illegal to go in the men's bathroom. And I was like, what if I identify as a man? I was like, at this point, I'm just going to try everything.
Oh my. Wait, so did she say that she was crying right there as well? Hang on.
Please get off me. He was like, get the f out. And he was like, it's illegal to go in the men's bathroom. And I was like, what if I identify as a man?
I'm pretty sure that she said that she was crying a second ago. And it's really sad that I have to say this, gentlemen, but a lot of the times when people cry in public, they're not actually crying, right? It's literally just crocodile tears where they want to appear like the victim and like they've done nothing wrong. So they're going to put on the waterworks so that everybody around them thinks that it's them who has been mistreated when they in fact did the wrong thing.
I was like, at this point, I'm just going to try everything.
I mean, listen to that, right? At this point, I'm just going to try everything, right? Because rather than accept accountability for the stupid thing that I did, as a pretty woman, I believe that I should be able to get away with whatever the hell I want. And if it seems like I can't, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and cry or make jokes about how it wasn't that serious.
He was like, that's not what your ID says. I was like, but I identify as a man. He was like, get the fuck out, it's illegal. I was like, it's not illegal. He goes, well, it's illegal for you to refuse to be kicked out by a cop. And I was like, what? Anyway, so I'm crying. I can't get back in. He literally shoves me on the ground outside of the bar. Everyone comes up to me and was like, are you okay? Like, I saw that was so crazy. Like, what the fuck?
And look, everybody's asking her if she's okay, as if she wasn't the person who did the wrong thing. And she's written a couple of things on her TikTok here again. She said, is it illegal to go into the opposite gender's restroom? Yes, I would assume so. And she says also that, did he have the right to drag me out and touch me so aggressively? Yeah, you weren't supposed to be there. This woman, okay, she got kicked out of the venue and then decides that it's a smart idea to return to said venue. And then when she gets kicked out again, she's like, oh, did he have the right to touch me so aggressively? Guys, the level of entitlement and disrespect that you have to have in order to do something like this is so astounding.
But I genuinely want to know, like, if I was in the wrong. So TikTok, help me out.
Yeah, TikTok, help me out. Jeez, man. You know, I've recently received a couple of emails, guys. So before we move into the next section of today's episode, I want to tell you guys a quick couple of stories that has been happening recently. So there might be a few astute of you among you who kind of binge watch this channel. You may have noticed that I've taken down a couple of videos recently. I'm also archiving some old content slowly and moving videos over to locals. So make sure that you come and join over there. But you guys may have noticed that I've actually pulled down a couple of videos recently because in my video descriptions, I used to at least, I said that if people would like the video taken down or if they would like themselves removed from the video if I covered them, then I would happily do that for them. Okay, so every now and then I would have a girl reach out and say, hey, you know, could you take down this portion of the video? And out of goodwill, guys, I typically do it because I don't really care. You know, if people really want the video taken down that badly, then I'm happy to do that for them, okay? But lately, guys, I've had a change of heart, right? I think that these girls who put this stupid crap out online, I'm just going to leave the video up from now on, right? I recently had a girl email the show, guys, before we get into today's Reddit stories. I recently had a girl email the show, and she asked for, you know, the clip of her to be removed and all of the commentary surrounding her to be removed. And I responded to her when I saw the email, so it was a few days late. But I noticed that she tried to get the video taken down through YouTube, right? Not through me. She tried to get it taken down, like, where YouTube would force me to take it down. Like, they would just delete it. So that actually failed. YouTube rejected her, you know, her claim to try and get the video taken down because these videos are transformative in nature because they're commentary, they're critique, right? So YouTube really isn't supposed to take them down. So she tries to get the video taken down through YouTube. The video doesn't get taken down. She emails me twice because I didn't see it the first time. And she said she'd like the video taken down. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'll take it down. But she tries to justify it by saying that the things that she said in the video was satirical and they didn't really matter. Basically just trying to avoid accountability when it was clear that she was in the wrong. Okay, and you know what? After that point, guys, I've said to myself, you know what? These girls who make these stupid videos, I'm just going to leave the video up. Like, I'm not taking it down for them anymore. Like, I'm literally sick of it. If they want to post stupid crap on the internet, guys, and they don't want it to go absolutely everywhere, well, that's a little bit too bad. But guys, we are going to be wrapping up today's episode with a couple of Reddit stories. So as always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments as we jump into these. And once again, we are returning to our favorite cesspit on the internet, guys, the FDS subreddit. So we have here a little story that is classified as humor, guys. So as we read this, just, you know, bear in mind that this is supposed to be funny. But anyway, written by Bonds Girl, we have here an article that starts off by saying, a decent strategy guide to land a man. It's pretty obvious that men don't actually like women. It seems like they'd prefer to date each other. So what we need to do to snag that cutie off the market is to be more like men. Genius. Here are a few tips to act like a man. And don't forget to share all of your success stories right here. Tip number 1. Frequently tell random men you don't know to smile more. Men really love to say that all the time to women they don't know, so they must really love that advice, so let's do it too. Why is this girl acting as though she's made a point? I think that men in general, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I think that men would appreciate something like that. Men would go, oh really? You like my smile? I think men would take that on board as a compliment and not freak out about it. I really do, guys. Like, these girls act as though it's only a bad compliment, right? It's only a bad thing when she's not attracted to the man. If some like Chad, who's highly attractive to her, said that she should smile more, she's gonna think, oh wow, I've just been, you know, that was great. Whatever. This woman seems to think that she's making a point, but we're going to skip tip number 2 because it's a bit spicy for YouTube. Tip number 3, be super thirsty. Follow the profiles of good-looking guys. Make sure to like their pictures too. Boost their confidence and get them to notice you. Men love to do this, even in relationships. Clearly, what we must need to emulate this practice. You know, guys, whenever I read stuff like this, of girls complaining about men in relationships following a whole bunch of women on social media in bikinis and crap like that, I always think to myself that it's more of a a self-confession than anything. Okay, because what it really tells me is that girls are dating men who have one foot out the door. In other words, a lot of women are dating men who are not faithful by default. Right? Girls say that they hate cheaters, they hate liars, but they always seem to date the cheaters and liars and the dudes who step outside of a relationship. Right? And we all know, guys, full well that there are plenty of men out there who would be willing to be 100% faithful, not follow any women on Instagram, respect her boundaries, all that kind of crap, but she doesn't want those men. Whenever I hear stuff like this, I just think that their choice in men is really appalling. That's all I think, because I know there are plenty of men out there who would respect a woman's boundaries and, you know, not want to disrespect her and crap like that, but she just doesn't want those men. Final tip number 4, assess men using a numerical scale along the lines of a 10 out of 10 scale, solely based on their looks. You can rate their face, arms, legs, muscle, or lack thereof. You get the point. Guys really like rating or judging women objectively based on their appearance, completely foregoing our character or personality. We are seriously lacking in this area, ladies. It's time to embrace rating men and see what happens. Guys, the second TikTok that I played for you on today's episode, these girls want to pretend as if they don't rate men based on physical appearance. What kind of lie is that? Okay, and who the hell cares? I think it has utility to it. If you want to rate someone by physical appearance, like, everyone gets butthurt over words, man. It's so ridiculous to me. Okay, I literally, earlier in this video, I used a look scale to describe a man. Right, that's because it has utility. I mentioned literally earlier in this video that, like, if a guy is a 5 out of 10, that his behaviors are not necessarily attractive, right? I literally rated a dude based on physical appearance, right? But these girls, they get so butthurt about it when they are literally just as guilty of rating men based on physical appearance as vice versa, but they want to pretend like they're angels in the matter. It's ridiculous. Let's have a read of some of these comments. This woman right here who says decline and dash says, disappear after establishing friendly rapport with them a few times, bonus if you had bedroom fun, then reappear 3 months later to ask if they want tacos. Everybody loves tacos, and this keeps your partner on their toes. I'm telling you guys, whenever girls write stuff like this, it literally is just them telling on themselves. Look at this, okay? This woman is telling us that she is sick and tired of men having bedroom fun with her and then after the fact not committing to her. I mean, read this, look. Disappear after establishing friendly rapport and if you've had bedroom fun, then reappear 3 months later. So this woman is sick and tired of being treated as someone who's not relationship material. I have no sympathy, guys. Because again, if she wanted a relationship, she could have one. But she just wants the men. And this is what women will put up with, by the way, guys. Women will put up with an unreal amount of crappy behavior if they find the dude attractive enough. I don't know who the hell said it, guys. Like, there's probably a whole bunch of dudes who have said it. But I heard, you know, for some time now that you can do anything to a girl except bore her. And that really, you know, rings true with a lot of this crap, guys. But let's continue on to today's last Reddit article because we are running out of time right here. I've got to be heading off to the gym momentarily. So let's take a look at this Reddit article, then we'll wrap up today's episode. So once again, our favorite cesspit of the internet. It says, a high-value man, I am so sick of hearing that word, man. A high-value man will make you like your own personality more. Usually after a date, my old pick-me habit would be to start brainstorming ways to change myself to impress a guy more. For example, did he like joking around but not more serious topics? If so, I would make an adjustment and try to make more jokes the next time. Another example, did he like my taste in music, especially when I mentioned XYZ bands? I would start listening to more of those bands' albums in preparation for the next conversation. But today, I went on a date, and afterwards all I felt was an urge to embody myself more, to be more confident in myself. And then it hit me. This guy had enjoyed hearing my genuine thoughts and feelings about things. He tuned in the most when I was talking about hobbies and interests that I genuinely enjoyed. It was a real eureka moment for me. Usually my brain goes into overdrive after a date, and I spend way too much time psychoanalyzing everything a guy liked or didn't like about me. But a high-value man will make you like yourself more. He will force you to actually value your own personality and not put on some cool girl fantasy act that a scrote would want. Guys, I find this crap incredibly funny, and the reason that I say that is because women, when they find a man incredibly attractive, will literally alter, look at this, will literally alter their entire personality to make him like her. It really is the most, you know, talk about simping, guys. Girls do it absolutely. Okay, look at this. He will force you to actually value your own personality. No, you change your personality because you don't want him to ditch you for the next 30 girls in line sitting right behind you, okay? But guys, we are going to be ending today's video there. As always, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments to some of the things that we have covered today. Don't forget to subscribe if you've made it this far in the video, guys, to all 10 of you that have made it this far. Make sure that you come and join us over on Locals as well. Content will be slowly uploaded over there over time, guys. We'll slowly be moving a lot of stuff over from YouTube as, you know, the YouTube overlords don't really like us too much. But guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Make sure to take care of yourselves, and as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yo guys, Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of making these videos for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description below, so make sure you show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, as always, guys, make sure that you come and join us on Patreon and Locals. The links will be in the description of this video. Over time, there will be more and more archived content that I move from YouTube over to these two places, so make sure that you come and join over there. This archived content will be publicly available to everybody, guys, whether you are a supporter or not. The reason why I'm doing this is because YouTube is really bad with the censorship these days, and I don't know how long this channel will be around for. With that said, guys, I'd like to thank all of the supporters and all of you who watch at home, and as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.